Hi everybody, I just wanted to give you a quick how-to on finding a formal source. This can be helpful for both your discussion questions that you'll be doing every couple of weeks, as well as for your individual project for the class. So from the syllabus, remember that a formal source is either an article that has been published in a peer-reviewed journal, or it's a published book. And mostly what you're going to be using for your discussion questions probably are journal articles because those are easier to access and you can read through them more quickly, obviously, than you can read through a book. And they're also available online largely because of the databases that our library holds. You can also find some ebooks available online, but mostly you would have to go to the library to check out any available books. Okay, so what you want to do first is go to the UNF homepage and then to the library website. And there are many different ways to search. You could use OneSearch, right, by just typing in, let's say, some keywords here and then clicking on OneSearch, but that typically is going to get you messier results unless you know specifically what you're looking for. So sometimes I will use OneSearch. Let's say you provide a reference in your discussion question and I'm interested in looking that up. I might just copy um, the title from the reference that you provide and paste it into OneSearch and then look up the article that you've used that way. But that's how I typically use that. Instead, when you're kind of just searching for something from scratch, I find it better to use databases by subject. So you click on databases by subject. Um, I would scroll down to psychology. Okay. And then I like PsycInfo. That's my favorite. Now, once you're in PsycInfo, you can also choose to add some databases depending on the nature of your topic. Okay, so you might have a topic that overlaps with education or with the medical field. And so you would want to add some databases to use in addition to PsycInfo. So you can just go through and kind of click the different databases that you think might be useful based on whatever particular topic you have that you're sort of looking for sources for, okay? Um, so you have multiple databases available to you in a single search. The next step is to decide on some search terms, and that could just be keywords based on the topic. It could be maybe specific authors. So for instance, if you're doing the individual project, developmental psychology in the news project, sometimes in the newspaper article, specific researchers are mentioned by name. You could use that as a starting point for finding sources. But typically you're probably going to be using just some keywords, some search terms that are based on the topic that you're interested in. So let's say that we wanted to research obesity in childhood. So you would just start with, some basic keywords, and you might have to play around with those keywords because really the results that you get sometimes are only as good as the search terms that you put in. And so you might have to play around with it if you're not getting what you're hoping to get. So we'll kind of do obesity and we'll do childhood. Now notice here on these pull down menus you can say what type of term it is. Mostly if I'm using just regular sort of generic keywords, I just leave that unselected. But let's say you're searching for a specific author, then you might want to then select author as the subject field. Okay, so once you have your keywords in, go ahead and do a search. And you get a whole list of results, 57,000 plus, right, results. So that's a lot. And if you wanted to narrow it down, you could limit it to only the sources that we have full text access to, only to peer reviewed. You could look at only journals, right? So there are ways to sort of narrow that down if you need to. So as you look through your search results, you'll see that in some cases, you get this link here that says not available, check for other options. So that might mean that our library doesn't hold this source, this journal at all. It could mean that it simply isn't available online. So let's say this just sounded like the perfect article and you were hoping to be able to use it. I would still click on that link to see whether we have it. Sometimes there are still some options for accessing it online. Other times what you're doing is just saying, you know, does our library even hold this? So I usually click on check library holdings to see whether our library has it. And in this case, our library actually does have it. So if that was the perfect article for you and you really wanted to use it, you could just then go to the library and you know, make a copy of the article that you were interested in. But let's say that you don't have time for that, right? It's Saturday and your discussion question is due on Sunday and you just want to access something that's available online. Well, there are a couple of ways to do that from within PsycInfo. So here you see this full text through link source link, and so if you click on that you can access the article, and also in some cases you can actually just click on a PDF full text link straight from the results list. Okay, so let's say that you do that, it will take you right within this system to the article, and you can either just read it here and take notes, or if it's for your individual project you'll actually want to download it to your computer so that you can submit it with your assignment. And so you would click on this button here to download the article. If you're not accessing it from right within PsycInfo, then you click on that link, and this will take you usually to the actual website for the publisher. So this is a Wiley publication in this example, and you just need to look around on the page for the PDF version, and so usually you'll find that somewhere. It differs depending on the publisher, but in this case it's here, so you just click on Get PDF, and that will give you access to the actual PDF article. And again, if this is, you know, for your individual project, you would want to download this to your computer. Okay, so that's how, you know, sort of the nuts and bolts of accessing formal sources using the library databases online. I just wanted to show you one more thing really quickly, which is just a nice kind of hint, because part of your assignments involves needing to provide full APA formatted references. Well, you can actually get that from within PsycInfo. So let's say that you were using this first article. You could just click on the title of it from within PsycInfo. And then if you look here to the right where you see tools, you scroll down and click on Cite. And then you would scroll down the citation format list till you get to the APA format reference, and you can actually just copy that and paste it, and that gives you all of the correct information in the correct order and format. So that's a nice hint. Sometimes you have to check through the APA reference in PsycInfo because they might have some funny things that are incorrect. So for example, in this one, PsycInfo does this a lot. This word "and" should actually be lowercase, right? So you would just have to make that simple correction, but otherwise all of the information is there and in the correct format. So I hope this is helpful. Please let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.